On November 18, 1978, at exactly 5:15 p.m., a congressman's plane landed in a remote jungle clearing in Guyana. Within 24 hours, 918 people would be dead, including 304 children who never had a choice. Jim Jones didn't start as a madman. In 1955, he founded the People's Temple in Indianapolis, preaching racial integration when it was revolutionary. He adopted 7 children of different races, calling them his rainbow family. Churches across America praised him as a progressive pioneer. But behind the facade, Jones was conducting loyalty tests on his followers, making them confess their deepest secrets, and slowly isolating them from the outside world. By 1965, he had convinced 140 families to sell everything and follow him to California. In California, Jones perfected his manipulation techniques. He staged fake healings, claiming to cure cancer by pulling bloody chicken gizzards from people's bodies. Members were required to turn over their Social Security checks, property deeds, and custody of their children. Jones installed loudspeakers in followers' homes, broadcasting his voice 24 hours a day. Sleep deprivation became mandatory, meetings lasted until 3 a.m., followed by 5 a.m. wake-up calls. Anyone who questioned Jones faced public humiliation sessions called catharsis. By 1973, Jones had attracted the attention of California politicians. He delivered votes in blocks, swinging elections for mayors and governors. San Francisco Mayor George Moscone appointed Jones to the Housing Authority. But former members were starting to speak out. They described beatings, forced labor, and financial exploitation. Jones became paranoid, convinced the government was plotting against him. He needed an escape plan. That's when he discovered the perfect hiding place, 3,800 acres of jungle in Guyana, South America. Jonestown was sold as a utopian paradise. Jones promised followers their own socialist community where racism didn't exist and everyone lived as equals. The first settlers arrived in 1974 to carve a settlement from virgin jungle. They built dormitories, a medical clinic, and a pavilion for meetings. But the reality was horrific. Armed guards patrolled the perimeter. Mail was censored. Phone calls were monitored. Followers worked 11-hour days in 100-degree heat on minimal food rations. Jones controlled everything through constant surveillance and brutal punishments. Jones escalated his control through something he called white nights. At random times, sirens would sound throughout Jonestown. Everyone had to immediately gather in the pavilion, where Jones would announce they were under attack by fascist forces. He ordered followers to drink what he claimed was poison-laced flavor aid. After they drank, he would laugh and call it a loyalty test. These rehearsals happened over 40 times. Jones was programming his followers for mass suicide, making the unthinkable seem routine. Meanwhile, families in America were desperate for news about their relatives. Leo Ryan, a California congressman known for his hands-on investigations, decided to visit Jonestown personally. Jones panicked. No outsider had ever been allowed into the settlement. But refusing a congressman would draw unwanted attention. On November 14, 1978, Ryan flew to Georgetown, Guyana, with a delegation of journalists and concerned relatives. Jones had 4 days to prepare for the visit that would destroy everything. Ryan's delegation reached Jonestown on November 17. For 24 hours, Jones put on an elaborate show. Children performed songs, couples danced, and everyone smiled on cue. But cracks appeared quickly. NBC reporter Don Harris noticed armed guards and asked pointed questions. Secretly, followers began slipping notes to the visitors, "Help us get out." By the next morning, 16 people had openly requested to leave with Ryan. Jones was furious, but he couldn't refuse without exposing the truth about his prison camp. On November 18 at 3:30 p.m., Ryan's group headed to the airstrip with the 16 defectors. But Jones couldn't let them leave alive, they knew too much. As the group waited to board 2 small planes, a tractor with armed Jonestown members appeared. At 4:20 p.m., they opened fire. Congressman Ryan was shot 20 times. NBC cameraman Bob Brown kept filming until a bullet killed him. His camera captured his own murder. 5 people died on that airstrip, but 11 survived to tell the world what happened next. Back in Jonestown, Jones gathered everyone in the pavilion one final time. He announced that Ryan's death meant the end was near. Government troops would invade within hours, he claimed, and torture their children. Death was the only escape. Medical staff prepared a metal vat containing flavor aid mixed with cyanide, Valium, and chloral hydrate. Jones called it revolutionary suicide, a final act of defiance against their oppressors. The killing began with the children at exactly 5:15 p.m. Parents were forced to squirt the poison mixture into their babies' mouths with syringes. Children died within minutes, convulsing and screaming. Then adults lined up to drink from paper cups. Those who resisted were held down by guards and injected. Jones recorded everything on tape, capturing 44 minutes of pure horror. His voice remained calm as children died around him. Die with respect. Die with dignity. Some tried to run into the jungle, but armed guards hunted them down. By 10 p.m., 909 people were dead, including 304 children under age 17. The youngest victim was just 2 months old. Jim Jones died from a single gunshot to the head, whether suicide or murder remains unknown. When Guyanese troops arrived the next morning, they found bodies arranged in neat rows around the pavilion. Some families died holding hands. Others clutched their children. A few had tried to crawl away but collapsed before reaching the jungle. The final count was staggering, 918 dead, making Jonestown the largest mass murder-suicide in history until 9/11. Only 33 People's Temple members survived. Some escaped into the jungle during the chaos. Others were away from Jonestown on November 18. The FBI found $7.3 million in cash hidden throughout the compound, money stolen from followers over decades. Investigators discovered that revolutionary suicide was always Jones's endgame. He had been planning mass murder from the moment he founded People's Temple. Jonestown wasn't just a mass suicide, it was the calculated murder of 918 people by a man who spent 23 years perfecting the art of total control. Today, the jungle has reclaimed the settlement, but the lessons remain. Charismatic leaders who demand absolute loyalty, isolation from family and friends, and the gradual normalization of violence are warning signs we can never afford to ignore.